overall pick in last Tuesday's draft. Congratulations to her. Kat Osterman obviously thinks very highly of Haley Wagner. First ball swinging, McClenny into shallow left field, and the play is made by Morgan Zirkle. One pitch into the game, and we have an out. That'll be a battery of Wagner and Svekis, and an infield of Kelsey Stewart, Anissa Urtez left side with Aubrey Leach and Tori Vidalis right side. You just saw Zirkle in left, Hayward and Shao. Victoria Hayward back in her customary center field after giving up center field last week because she was playing with Haley McClenny and deferred to Haley McClenny in center field. Two really good center fielders though. Splitting hairs, picking the better of the two. This is Savannah Jaquish. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jaquish. Leads everyone in homers with 8. Batting average a couple base hits away from 500. 472. Hard but foul. Jaquish is going to play first base today. She's been a jack of all trades. We've seen her third, behind the plate, right field. Everywhere she's been, she's hit. Just incredible numbers offensively.
Well, and just first across the board for ribbies and home runs. And I want that player on my team because I know that they're going to produce. And it's not that she's just gotten home runs off of the average pitchers. I mean, it started with the 2 back-to-back home runs that she had off of Kat Osterman that really, I mean, just took everyone by a storm. With a lot of stuff, a lot of questions. Big strikeout by Wagner.
2 down here in the first inning. Kat Osterman is the captain. Let's take a look at her Carvana draft recap.
Yeah, it was important for me to have another solid pitcher going into the last week. Benefited that we also were able to grab Gwen in the 3rd round, but I think we got some speed and we got some power, and feel like 1 through 9 and plus some off the bench, we have a solid lineup.
I love the fact that Kat kind of didn't do the knee jerk of taking Gwen Svekis like she had the last 4 weeks, and decided that she wanted to go with some pitching help, and she still was able to get Gwen Svekis and Victoria Hayward, who was one of the first players to go off the board. So she got pitching, she got hitting help, and she got her security blanket in Svekis.
Yeah, and when I look at her team, I think it's so strong, and I think it is so smart to go with a player like Haley Wagner. If you're the top dog and you get to make first pick, it's not to say that Gwen Svekis shouldn't be the first overall pick because of your comfort level, but I would have to go with someone else that can help me in the circle, right? The 5th week, people are going to potentially figure you out a little bit more. You want the help.
DJ Sanders down the left field line. Morgan Zirkle's there, and the side is retired.
We've seen this matchup before where Hennigan went against her old college coach, Kat Osterman at Texas State. And Hennigan on the season with 17 innings pitched. She is 0-2 with that 10.90 ERA. And I think the importance for her is finding ways to hit good spots. You know, I hate to say it, but Piancastelli not pitching or grabbing a pitcher in the first 2 rounds to me was a little bit of a shock, because you cannot hit your way sometimes against some of the greats, right? Like we've seen what Kat's been able to do and Wagner. So you need a pitcher that can keep you in the game.
High fly to right field. There's some wind up there, and the catch is made by Mandy Perez.
And I mean, I look at the pitchers that she got. She took Kamalani Dung in the 3rd round, which I think is the best pitcher on her staff. And then she has Randy Hennigan, as well as Taylor McQuillan. So, and Coley Reese. But I think it's going to have to be a little bit more of a pitch by committee type approach every single game.
Leach lays down a bunt, fielded by Sanchez. Quick over to Myers covering, and there are 2 outs.
So I just think the importance of being smart with pitching scenarios and not leaving a pitcher in too long. Just little things like that are going to be important for them, because we've seen it, pitchers and catchers are the first ones to go in the first couple rounds. So we'll see how she decides to handle this as the captain.
TV, Tori Vidalis grabs the bat. Vidalis hitting .308. Couple of homers. Pride of Texas A&M. Vidalis part of that contingent that plays on the Mexican Olympic team. Yeah, final thought on the team for Team Piancastelli. They're going to have to win some slugfest, you would imagine, because their top four in their batting order is, in my opinion, better than anyone else this week. With McClenny, Jaquish, Sanders, and Piancastelli. That's a ton of offensive talent. 2-out base hit. Vidalis is aboard. A 13th hit in 40 at-bats this summer.
But I mean, going back to what you're saying about those top four, but at the end of the day, great pitching beats great hitting. So when you think about facing players like Wagner and Cat, I mean, was it going with the approach of like, all right, well, it's okay if we don't win that game, let's just go tackle and think that we can score 5-6 runs off O'Toole, something like that? It was interesting. I was actually shocked.
Well, I think that it is pretty cool that Piancastelli, making those decisions as a captain, is the catcher. And so she knows what Hennigan can do. She's going to be the one working with Dung. And so she is going to be intimately involved in every pitch that is thrown. So obviously she's confident that they can get the job done. It'll be fun watching it unfold.
And it's not to say that they can't. You'd think by, you know, kind of week 4, week 5, these pitchers would have a good understanding of the hitters and what their comfort level is and just getting comfortable with catchers behind the plate.
Gwen Spekas takes outside. 2 balls and a strike to Gwen. Spekas a homer and 7 runs batted in. Liner into left field. Good job, Gwen Spekas. 2-out base hit. So after 2 outs, back-to-back singles, Vidalis and Spekas.
It's a good piece of hitting. That's a pitch that's up in the zone on the inside part of the plate. Just able to get on top of this pitch and turn on it.
Here's Samantha Shaw. Shaw's got some electricity in that bat. She's got 5 homers and 11 runs batted in. If needed, she's going to be the 3rd arm for Team Osterman. They may not need 3 arms. We shall see. They've got Haley Wagner and Kat Osterman, but if they choose to go to an extra pitcher, it's going to be Shaw. Shaw has additional value as a position player as well. We've seen her in first base, and today we're seeing her out in right field. Currently 26th in points, 26 out of the 57 players. Good strike. Ball and 2 strikes.
And Sam Shaw was a player for me week 1. I mean, she came out of the gate guns a-blazing, ready to go. She was hitting bombs. She was pitching pretty good. And then she kind of fell off a little bit and has been struggling a little bit more so in the circle than I would say in the batter's box. She's been pretty consistent with the bat, but pitching-wise, she definitely has struggled. And let's take a look. She was week 2. She was number 2 out of the box, and then week 2 and 3 and 4, it's just kind of struggling.
I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but she is one of the players that we can lump into the category of struggling after being named a captain. She had a great week 1. She was a captain for the next week and didn't have the numbers that she had the week before. We've also seen that with Nicole Penley. We've seen that with Janie Reed a week ago. It's possibly a thing. A lot of responsibility when you're a captain. Called strike 3. Good job, Randy Hennigan. She got the first 2 outs. Healthy in the shielded environment, and there's been excellent play between the lines. Here's the captain, Erica Piancastelli. She'll be followed by Nerissa Myers and Amanda Sanchez. Haley Wagner went 1-2-3 against Team Piancastelli in the first. Hard but foul. Ball and 2 strikes. Biancastelli, 6 homers, 9 runs batted in. She's the 4th captain, 4th most points with Athletes Unlimited. She began the week as the 3rd captain. That was her picking order when they drafted, but she subsequently dropped down to 4. She was leapfrogged by, or she has leapfrogged Alicia Ocasio. Swung on and missed. Haley Wagner, 2 strikeouts in her first 4 batters. Let's go All Access, presented by Sparta Science with Haley Wagner.
I think the biggest things you'll probably have to just like tell me, or just if you see anything, is firm front leg. Because I talked to Jen Brundage 3 weeks ago, I think, and it looked like I was really soft with my leg on all pitches. And since then, I've been really focusing on firm front leg for all my pitches, not just my changeup. I think that's really been good. So if you see this, or if you see like I'm soft and just like legs lagging, and then finish my pitch. Ah, I felt that. Closed my hips too soon. Woo! Yeah. I know I went heel. I like went heel and then locked out a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Like I didn't feel anything. It just felt weird. Yeah. Curve.
I love that. I love the fact that she brought up Jen Brundage, who's the pitching coach at Michigan, like still chit-chatting and allowing her to help her. And I'm sure, you know, University of Michigan coaches are watching. We got 3 Wolverines that are playing in this league. But I just love the pitcher talk, like firm front leg. I need to be firm. If you see me, be soft. And that's the thing. You have to have those open lines of communication with your catcher to really just kind of help you, because there are no coaches here. You are your own coach at the end of the day, and I think it needs to be a 2-against-1 mentality with pitcher, catcher. And she talks about that firm front leg and needing to drive hard against it. Pitchers, when they land, energy needs to go somewhere. Some pitchers' energy goes forward, other pitchers' energy goes up, and some goes back or firm against their front leg where their momentum comes back. And that's what Haley Wagner does. And when her leg is soft, sometimes you'll see her body or her hips open a little bit too soon. So when she's firmer, she's able to have that clear slot to snap that curveball, backdoor curve, everything off.
I love that she brought up Jen Brundage's name. Jen Brundage is just one of the all-time greats. Was an alternate and made herself a true Olympian. And she also, at UCLA, how about this, was a member of the marching band. So Jen Brundage may be the only person who was in the collegiate marching band and then turned themselves into an Olympian. Pretty cool.
Very cool. And you know what I think? I think we need to ask Patrick if we can have like a medal to give you at the end of this for the amount of knowledge you know with stuff. You just whipped out that Jen Brundage was in a band.
The UCLA marching band. That's a real band.
But that's incredible. You know so much.
So 2 runners on here with 1 out. Nerissa Myers an infield single, and now Sanchez works the walk. First and second with 1 out. And the dangerous Sam Fisher is going to come to the plate. Yeah, we've got inning points on the line. This is a rollover inning. The first inning was scoreless. So this inning will be worth 20 points to whichever team outscores the other. Sam Fisher has 12 hits. 3 of them have not come back. 3 homers, 9 runs batted in. A batting average of .353. Swings at the first pitch, little looper, shallow center field. Coming on, making the plays, Hayward. So Fisher, super aggressive, swings at the first pitch and makes out number 2.
And something that I think is pretty cool with this team is that you have Gwen Svekis, Haley Wagner, and Victoria Hayward, who are all part of that PEC. And we're really the first ones that were involved in this league, with talking with John Patrickhoff and Jonathan Soros, and the ones that really got to help pick and choose how things were gonna work with this league. So those three, I mean, it's such a full circle moment here that they get to end this whole league together on the field. I love that.
Well, if you're watching maybe in Chilliwack and you're not exactly familiar with what Danielle's talking about, the PEC is short for Player Executive Council. And those are the players that are driving the decisions that are made, and all the big initiatives that are going forward with this league. This is like nothing we've ever seen before. This is professional sports that is being run by, governed by, led by the players themselves.
I like how you go with Chilliwack, of all places. That's the one you go with.
That's up in British Columbia, right? That's your neck of the woods.
Far out. It is like an hour from where my family is. Chilliwack.
Same general vicinity. Mandy Perez trying to keep the inning alive.
And that's that pitch. You see that changeup 2 Mondays ago. It's the best that I've ever seen her throw and have control over that changeup. When she's able to get that pitch consistently, she's almost unhittable because she's coming from the left side, 66 miles an hour curveball.
On the ground, smothered by the first baseman. Vidala's side retired. She's been so much fun to watch. Lily Piper has been tremendous, and I'm glad that she's getting a start today, getting rewarded for the job that she's done, coming off the bench and swinging with a vengeance. Seems like most teams haven't found a place to put her defensively, but she's most comfortable in that batter's box. Oh my goodness, the worm. Svekis stepping up too. That's pretty cool.
She does always have a smile on her face, and she's the first one running out if someone hits a home run and is just cheering. And she's a prime example of a player that may not be getting drafted way high up or all the playing time in the world that she might like, but that doesn't faze her. She's still the same player regardless of that, and works her tail off. When she gets those opportunities, she thrives in them. But man, attitude is contagious.
Chased a pitch outside the zone, and that is strikeout number 2 for Randy Hennigan.
It's a good pitch, 0-2 pitch by Hennigan, that low curveball away. Pretty pitch. Piancastelli spotted up exactly where she wants her to throw it.
Here's Kelsey Stewart. Stewart from Wichita, Kansas. Played 4 years at Florida, and she'll play in the Olympic team next summer. Been part of Team USA for many, many years now. Softly hit. That one will be an infield single for Stewart. Nice try by Myers, but no chance to get Stewart. Infield single for her. That's the third base hit allowed by Hennigan. Runner on at first with 1 out. Here's Urtez. Anissa Urtez. Shows bunt, and it's foul.
Urtez graduated from University of Utah. Played up the middle with Hannah Flippin. Those two were, man, the best in the college game by far, working together. Had the most double plays at Utah 1 year.
She's been a pro for the last couple of summers. She spent last summer in Cleveland, Ohio, playing for the Cleveland Comets, National Pro Fast Pitch. She was actually teammates with Randy Hennigan, so they're very familiar with each other. 0-2. Cortez from Long Beach, California. Played for the Mexican national team since 2016 and is fooled by an off-speed pitch by Hennigan. So Hennigan's now got 3 strikeouts, 8 batters into the game, 2 down.
And this is kind of one of those chop swings at this change. I mean, she is so fooled on this pitch. Way out in front. Hennigan really getting ahead and then working these hitters once she does get ahead 0-2.
That was the biggest swing we've seen all season long from Morgan Zirkle. That was a huge swing. Normally she's just bunt and run. This time showing bunt, takes a strike, 0-2. Zirkle's earned her keep here in Rosemont this summer. A lot of people have been very impressed with what she's been able to do, both offensively and defensively. Currently 17th out of 57 players in points. Doesn't hit with a ton of power, so she's got to do it with her legs, high batting average, and being on winning teams. There goes Stewart. Ball is flipped foul. Pretty good company between Spekas and Flippin. Smothered by Bianca Stella. Stewart can't go anywhere. $20 points on the line. This is a rollover inning. Bottom of the second inning. Stewart was in motion again, so she's getting her sprints in. Hennigan has struck out 3. Liner in left. That'll get down. Stewart will advance another 60 feet. Runners on at first and at second with 2 down.
This is her screwball. That's a good piece of hitting. That ball's at least half a ball off the plate, I would say. If anything, it's maybe elevated a smidge, and if she's able to get that down a little bit, maybe Zirkle would have just rolled that over to DJ Sanders, but she was able to just bloop that in for a base hit.
Back to the top of the order, Victoria Hayward. On the ground, easy play for Myers, and that'll retire the side. With Athletes Unlimited. Andre, thank you so much for spending a little part of your afternoon with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hey, I want to ask you, we've been talking about aspiration quite often throughout the course of the last couple of weeks. Socially conscious, sustainable banking, savings, investing services to all. Why the importance to partner up with Athletes Unlimited in your eyes?
It's such a great organization, and it's been so amazing seeing it get off the ground. And really the tie is that we're both really organizations that have a purpose, have a mission. And we're not only providing a service, but we're trying to make the world a better place. And that's certainly a big part of the ethos of Athletes Unlimited, and it's what aspiration's all about. We're providing accounts that let people spend and save, not only in ways that have more money in their pockets, but also to make a positive impact on the world around them. And that's really so much in line with what this league is all about as well.
Well, we've been talking about it for 5 weeks. The Around the Bases pledge. You've made the pledge that for every run scored, 1,000 trees would be planted. So right now, 25,800 trees and counting will be planted. That is a huge number and a pretty massive commitment.
Well, it is a big commitment, but it really brings to life something that something that Aspiration offers, which is something we call Plant Your Change. which allows our customers to round up their purchases to the nearest dollar, and we're planting a tree with every purchase they make. And so if you're buying something in the store for $1.75, we'll round it up to $2, and then we'll use that change. And each time we're going to plant a tree. And so we're making that round up, and we're honoring all the rounding of the bases happening in this league. And I have to say, it's been amazing watching over the past few weeks the number of runs that have been hit, and way more than we expected. But that's a good thing. That means more trees that are being planted, and that means more of a positive impact on the environment, especially given the kinds of wildfires and all the other real challenges we've seen from climate change that have been coming up over past weeks and months and years.
Andre, number one, I'm loving those pictures of your kiddos behind you. I think that's so cute.
Oh,
but
thank you.
Haven't talked with the
They're
players.
a little older now.
Yeah. Haven't talked with the players early this week. What are some of the key messages you shared around the impact banking and how it can have on, environmental change?
Well, first of all, it was so great to talk to the players. I mean, it's such an inspirational group of people, and just getting to spend a little time with them was really heartening and moving. And one of the things we talked about was a lot of people just don't think about what the dollars in their bank account are actually doing. People don't think about the fact that when they're depositing money in the bank, it's not sitting in the vault somewhere. Those dollars are being used and oftentimes being lent out to oil and gas pipelines and other big projects that may not be what people want to be doing in their own lives. And there's so many people that are thinking about the environment, thinking about how to make the world a better place as they're making spending decisions in the grocery store or buying clothes or coffee. And why aspiration is around is because we believe people should have that same ability to have a great home for their financial life that not only helps them save better, have more money to spend on the things that are important to them, but also save the planet and make a difference in the ways that they believe are important as they go forward.
Fantastic stuff, Andre. Thank you so much. Making a difference and just reading your bio and getting to know you a little bit better. You're a true Renaissance man, and we appreciate your time and we appreciate the partnership as well.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and thanks for letting me be part of this.
Now, things are getting interesting here as we play the third inning. Runners on at first and at second. DJ Sanders is the batter. Sanders hitting out of that 3-hole, has an RBI opportunity here. Inning began, Janie Reed and Haley McClenny both with infield base hits. Savannah Jaquish actually trying to play some small ball, popped up a bunt, and that's the only out we've had here in the third inning. 1-2 pitch, hard right to the third baseman. This will be a double play. Yes! Kelsey Stewart caught the liner and throws to first in time. Teammates, rivals, but through it all, there's an underlying desire to enjoy each other. Here's Aubrey Leach. She'll be followed by Tori Vidalis and Gwen Svekis, batting against Randy Hennigan, who has been walking a tightrope. Gave up 2 base hits in the first and in the second, but no runs scored. Ooh, McClenny almost got fooled. Ball almost went over her head, but it doesn't. And that is out number 1.
She just makes this look easy, even though that's not an easy catch. She kind of took a step in a little bit and realized this was going to be up over her head.
That's the hardest hit ball we've seen Aubrey Leach have. Tori Vidal swings at the first pitch, golfs it into right field, and making the play on the track is Mandy Perez. 2 well-hit balls, but nothing but outs here in inning number 3.
I mean, 2 pitches, 2 outs. There's nothing better as a pitcher, and as a defense, you love that. Vidalis thought for a second was going Oppo Taco, warning track.
All right, now if you're the pitcher, Hennigan, you got to know that Swekis is not allowed to swing here, right? You can't have a 3-pitch inning. You might as well just throw one right down the pipe. She's not swinging.
She wasn't swinging, but she didn't go down the pipe.
And I think Svekis is the one who would know that more than anyone, because Svekis, being the catcher, knows that her pitcher needs a rest. So you got to take a pitch or two just to make sure that Haley Wagner's not back out in that circle again. Oh, but she swings. This is going to be a 4-pitch inning. Very rare. A little bit of adventure as the wind takes it all the way out to the fence, but Janie Reed makes the catch, and that will do it. She is second to only Savannah Jaquish in homers, 6 of them. Bianca Stella against Haley Wagner. Not much of a break for Wagner. That was a very quick bottom of the 3rd inning. Off speed, a beauty. Ball and 2 strikes.
When she's able to get that pitch consistently, like I continue to say, it makes everything that much better. It makes her curveball sharper.
High drive deep to left field. Going back, looking up. This one's gone. A homer. Piancastelli, the captain's done it. First run of the game. Home run number 7 for EP. Yeah, it takes until the 4th inning, but we finally got a run.
And this is a 1-2 count. I think if anything, we got to be better with location with that type of a count. You got a 2-2, 3-2, okay. Got to bring it in deeper on the hands, but sheesh, Piancastelli is showing why she's the captain here, but most importantly, why she's the captain of her Italian national team squad. She steps up in big situations and comes up clutch, respecting the fact that there's 40 rollover points on the board. The first team to be able to score and score the most will receive all of those points. And as of right now, Piancastelli 1-0. If Team Osterman would not score, everyone on that team would receive 40 points. So it's as if everyone got a home run, not just Piancastelli.
Yeah, there's a chance that's going to be an 80-point swing of the bat for Piancastelli. That's what captains do. Nobody out. Nerissa Myers next in line. 2 balls and a strike to Myers. Confident swing right back to the screen. Now with Erica Piancastelli rounding the bases. Aspiration just committed to plant another 100 trees to drive environmental change. Nerissa singled first time up. Just 5 hits and 26 at bats. That has surprised many. But she's still earning her meal money with her on base percentage. 11 times she's walked, 5 times she's been hit with a pitch. 3-2. Myers from Petal, Mississippi, down by Hattiesburg, southern Mississippi. Off speed again, spoiled left side. Does the pitcher read into anything when they throw a changeup and the hitter, a left-handed hitter, hits it down the left-hand side?
I mean, yes and no. As a pitcher, I mean, you read everything with your pitches thrown as far as, like, did it hit the location it should have? Was it low enough? I mean, change up. Ooh, that's a good pitch.
So Myers has now been aboard twice. That is the 12th time this season she's drawn a walk. 12 walks in 13 games. Fans want to get even closer to the game. Become a member of the Unlimited Club to cast votes for player MVPs, get access to our members-only dugout chat and bullpen camp, and interact with top point leaders after the draft each week in members-only meet and greet sessions. Learn more about the Unlimited Club by visiting auprosports.com and clicking Unlimited Club in the upper right of the page. And finishing out some paperwork from Game 1, the MVPs went to Jesse Warren, MVP 1, Danielle O'Toole, MVP 2, and Amanda Chittister, solo home run, MVP 3. All of those MVP votes are tabulated after the game and then added into the final total when we update the leaderboard. 0-2 to Sanchez. Three-pitch strikeout. So Haley Wagner gives up the homer, allows a walk, and then strikes out Sanchez on 3 pitches.
This is her screwball, the inside part of the plate, and I'm not sure what Sanchez is looking for with an 0-2 count, but you cannot let something like that go. And take a look at Wagner. First 7 appearances, had 14 strikeouts in her last 3. She has had 14, so she's definitely settling in.
You predicted that. I remember beginning of the season, you said you felt that the pitchers would take a couple of weeks to get to where they needed to be. Why did you sense that?
Well, I mean, there's a lot that goes into when you're playing against high-level competition, right? Like, you can train and throw bullpens throughout, but you cannot recreate the adrenaline that you feel in those types of games. And you also have to think that the catchers are kind of always rotating and they're never consistently getting the same one. So I think there's a comfort level with making sure you appreciate who's behind the dish. But most importantly, it's harder on your body. When you get into game settings, you can work your tail off bullpens in and bullpens out. But after you throw a full game, you just feel it in places that you're not used to feeling it. And you and I even got to talk with Haley Wagner after like the first week. And she's like, man, I'm so sore. And it just takes a little bit.
Danielle, you always see pitchers so secretive with how they grip the ball and find the seams that they want to throw with. Can a batter get any clues from Wagner? She shows you what she's gripping before she throws it.
Well, I mean, it depends. Like, if she holds the same grip true for every single pitch, no. But some pitchers do tend to switch up curveball, rise ball. But for the most part, I mean, if she's consistently throwing everything off the same, like, you can throw every single pitch off of the same exact grip. And I've learned that in the national, you know, playing with the national team, like having Team Australia and the men's coaches would pick the crap out of me in the circle with literally looking at like the smallest detail of my forearm moving. And it got to the point where like I had to throw everything off of the same grip because I'd have their coach on third base like yelling sit for change and yelling go with it for curve. And
little looper, Leach, 2 down.
So I think the more you can keep it extremely simple, trying to throw everything off of the same grip, as well as trying to throw everything off of the same pitch. So when I would throw a changeup, I'm throwing the changeup with the mentality that I'm throwing my hardest pitch, like my curve or my screw. So the hitter, as well as everyone around, isn't going to be able to pick anything up.
Here's Manny Perez, bunts foul. Just curious, Danielle, because you spent time playing professionally over in Japan and you played so much international softball. The Japanese have a reputation as being wonderful pickers of pitches. Have you noticed that over the years?
I was, knock on wood, lucky enough they didn't pick me then. I'm not saying that they might not have something in the 2021 Olympics, but they're great at everything they do over there. I'll just leave it at that.
Who has steadily been performing all 5 weeks here with Athletes Unlimited. Samantha Shao leads things off. It'll be Shao, Lily Piper, and Kelsey Stewart against a new pitcher. So Randy Hennigan goes the first 3 innings throwing shutout ball, and now Taylor McQuillan has taken the ball.
I think it has to be a little bit of a pitch by committee type feel for Piancastelli's team, and that's one thing that we've seen week to week is sometimes pitchers are left in too long, and the third time through the lineup it always ends up bad. So I think understanding and respecting, okay, hey, if we can get 3 innings out of Hennigan and then maybe we can use McQuillan for 2, and then we have Kamalani Dung in the pen warming up as well, to be able to use everyone Because it's never easy as a hitter when you face one pitcher twice, and then the next inning you have someone completely different, and then your next day be someone completely different.
3 balls and a strike. Count goes full 3-2. McQuillan, former Arizona All-American. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. First 3 innings scoreless, and so 30 points rolling over into this 4th inning. And already at 1 spot for Team Piancastelli with that home run in the top of the 4th inning by them. And this one deep down the left field line, but well foul. Janie Reed gives it a look. Another big pitch from McQuillan. With a 1-run lead late in the game, you don't want to start walking the leadoff batter. And she'll have to throw another strike.
Going on her 9th pitch of the AB, Shao making McQuillan work.
Off speed into center field. McClenny makes the call and makes the catch on the edge of the warning track. All right, we have an opportunity to talk to Janie Reed now. She's wearing a microphone out there in left field. Hey, Janie, thanks for joining us.
Of course.
Hey, what's it like playing with Haley McClenny? I know you know her from the national team. Talk about her as a defensive center fielder.
Do you have a long time? She's probably my favorite player to watch and to be teammates with. She does stuff that other people don't, and she's a phenomenal person, so you can't get much better than that.
Just curious, nuts and bolts. Seems to be a ton of wind out there. What's it like when you're actually physically in left field?
Yeah, I've played with wind before, but there's like extra flags, so it's just really making a statement how much wind there is out here. But, you know, Gwen's ball got up in the air, and it looked like it was going to be right to me, and then it just kept carrying all the way to the fence. So just got to stay with it, stay calm. Number 1 rule, don't panic.
Janie, you guys by far have the most women on the national team in this Athletes Unlimited. Just talk about how that's going to help you guys preparing for the 2021 Olympics, that you all get to, you know, have this experience, sometimes play on the same team and sometimes play against each other.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's all beneficial for us. I think it's good to play with different people. I think it's good to play with each other. I think that the athletes here are pushing us, and I know we're all super grateful that we even got to step on a softball field this summer. So, sorry. Sorry, I was playing really deep. No, I said DJ. Sorry, my bad. Dang it.
Yeah, Janie, it's kind of weird playing with different players every single week, and communication, I'd imagine, be a really big deal.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah, I know. I thought DJ first set too, so you can call my name on that. Yeah. Yeah, you just saw an example of that. I've been playing behind Delaney Spalding for the last 6 years of my life, so it's good. It's good. You learn new stuff, and it's just good experience.
You were a captain last weekend. Do you prefer being a captain and the pressures that has, or do you like not having to deal with that?
It was an honor, honestly, and it really was a privilege to be a captain, but I do enjoy just kind of being in left field and in the middle of the lineup and just doing my thing. So.
Since we have you, might as well ask. You're going to play in the national team again, and you have for years in the past with the woman at the plate right now, Kelsey Stewart. Tell us a little bit about Kelsey as a teammate and as a player.
Kelsey is ruthless. On my last at bat, I squared around a bunt, and she yelled something at me like she was all up in my grill. Like, that's just how she plays, and so that's kind of a little bit opposite of me. So she's always inspired me with her grit, and she just keeps going. So love playing with her. I remember playing against her in college and just being like, who is this girl? She's just on all the time, and making crazy defensive plays.
And Janie, I mean, this is the last weekend of this Athletes Unlimited. So cool you were a part of the inaugural season. What has been a couple highlights for you throughout these last 4 weeks that you've loved and enjoyed?
I've really honestly been so impressed with this whole league. Like, I just want to say thank you to John and Jonathan and everyone at Athletes Unlimited for the whole experience. It's so professionally well done. For me personally, I think I love playing with different people. Like, that's one of my favorite things. And I love just even the draft process. Like, it's so different than anything we know. And it's just good for us, I think, to be like, you know what? If I don't have a good week, probably not going to be drafted high. And that's okay. You know, I just come out the next week and do my job and raise my draft stock a little bit. I think we're in this sport as women, a lot of times I think we're just striving, you know, so much, and I think it's good to just be realistic with where we're at week to week and just let that motivate us to get better.
I love that so much.
And Janie, thank you for the time. Obviously this game's getting a little bit hairy, but thank you for your time, and well said. It's been a joy watching you for the first 5 weeks, and you have so much softball to look forward to in the years to come. So thank you for spending time with us.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, Janie Reed's going to be on the Olympic team next summer, playing over in Tokyo, and we're going to get a chance to watch her and play on that big stage and say we knew her when. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right, Kelsey Stewart draws the walk, so runners on at first and at second without the benefit of a base hit. The original ruling on that ball that was hit by Piper is an error on the shortstop Sanders, but we shall see. So we have a pinch runner. It is no longer Piper at second. It's now A.J. Andrews. Andrews at second, followed by Stewart. And this is Jordan Roberts. So a lot of moving parts here in this 4th inning. Jordan Roberts can run into one and hit it a long way. She homered in her first at-bat this season. And she's got a good hitter's count. 2-1. First inning of work for Taylor McQuillan, and she's already in hot water. Oh boy. 3-1. Roberts is pinch hitting for Anissa Urtez. Looking for the big ball. High drive, right center field. This one is gone! A homer! What a decision! Kat Osterman puts Jordan Roberts into the game, and she rewards her with a 3-run homer. Hum-diddly-dee! Jordan Roberts, you have earned the bling. A 3-run homer.
Well, and talk about owning your role. You know what I mean? Like, this is an off-speed pitch, 3-1 count, and she's able to take this opposite field. Wow. I mean, number one, this is clutch. But number two, no one at times is used to being that person that comes in a game with pressure on that needs to step up, and it's the second time we've seen her come up in a situation where her team needs her. She gets a big home run, has to feel good.
Super small thing, but the decision middle of the game by Kat Osterman to make a pinch hitting move, just incredible how you can influence a game by moving one player here and one player there. Kat Osterman has not played in today's game, but her fingerprints are all over this one. She's got a chance to get 40 points. Oh, she did. This inning is won. So all the rollover points go to Team Osterman. So 40 more points for Kat Osterman that will never go away because of the decision to pinch hit Jordan Roberts. Home run in a phone booth. Myers, 2 down.
Well, and an interesting just kind of stat with Team Piancastelli's pitching staff coming into today. Every single pitcher on her team combined, they were 0-5 with a 9.38 ERA over 47 innings pitched. And 47 innings pitched are the fewest of any Week 5 team. So it's almost as if you're kind of looking for a diamond in a rough and just hoping that someone is going to be able to step up and surprise you. And I hate to say it, but it's tough to rely on that. You know, like, I need a staple in my staff. I need somebody that I know I can get consistency from, someone that I can get 2 games from. And I hate to say it, our team doesn't have that. It's not to say that they still can't come back in the game or that these pitchers can perform, but they've struggled.
Victoria Hayward almost double hit that with her bat. Great defensive play. How did they make that out at first base? Pretty nice option to have, I would say.
And she is 8-1 with that 1.02 ERA and 55 innings pitched. Not too shabby. Just coming in here in the top of the 5th inning with a 2-run lead.
Is there a chance that this could be the case all 3 days this weekend? Wagner and Kat split all the pitching?
I don't think so. I think Kat will want to go 1 game. I think Monday night special, baby, under the lights. She's got to go.
Last time we saw Kat, all she did was strike out 16 batters in 7 innings. That was Monday night. Needed 118 pitches to do it. Complete game shutout. Scattered 5 hits, walked 1. But the big number 16, a new league record for punchouts. Janie Reed. These two will be teammates over in Tokyo in the Olympic team. Look at that. Heck of a night. And the strikeout. 3 pitches. Kat strikes out Reed, and that's nothing new. Reed struck out 3 times, all swinging against Kat back on Monday.
And this is a drop on the inside part of the plate, and it actually drifts a little bit more plate than you would want for 0-2, but that downward bite still makes it a tough pitch to handle.
Here's Haley McClenny. Singled last time up. McClenny's best week here with Athletes Unlimited came a week ago. All 3 games she was voted MVP 3. So she was considered by her peers to be the 3rd most valuable player in every game that she played last weekend.
She's MVP all the time to me. I'd love to play with Haley McClenny. She's just been like consistent in that leadoff spot. You know what you're getting defensively.
How about a tweet from Haley McClenny? What's she have to say? Today I get to play softball, and Alabama football's back. Roll Tide. She is from just outside Birmingham, Alabama, and she is aboard for the 2nd consecutive time. She has got Alabama Crimson Tide in her veins. Her brother Walker played baseball at Alabama. Of course, she was a 4-time All-American, playing softball for Patrick Murphy.
And this is a matchup I've been waiting for. We have Savannah Jaquish. Has had a couple home runs off of Kat.
Last time up, Jaquish tried to lay a bunt down. Currently 6 out of 57 players in total points. 0 for 2 today. One and one. One and two.
Pretty pitch. It's our off-speed curveball. 43 miles an hour. Or 53 miles an hour, excuse me.
Jaquish leads the league in homers. She's got 8. But in hot pursuit, her teammate Bianca Stella Piancastelli homered an inning ago. She's got 7. A home run here would tie things up. Jaquish stays alive.
Jaquish is just so good when she's down in the count, when she's 0-2, 1-2, to just continue to keep fouling pitches off. That was a drop ball away, tough pitch to handle. She's able to just foul that pitch off.
Yeah, there's a lot of Taraya Mims Flowers that comes to mind when you see Jaquish. Strong right-handed batter who doesn't give up an at-bat, just will battle you. Power from gap to gap. I used to love watching Taraya Mims play. One, two.
She's making Cat work.
Cat's first inning in relief of Haley Wagner. Wagner was her usual super steady self. Two and two. All right, 9th pitch of the at-bat. There's no way that Cat would walk back-to-back batters, right, with a 2-run lead?
I don't think she's trying to. I think she's just trying to not give up something too close to Jaquish, knowing the power that she brings. Can't give her anything too sweet.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Jaquish having it bat, why don't you? Savannah Jaquish.
And it's not that I'm not saying she needs to play this way, but it's almost as if she has that chip on her shoulder, in the sense of, like, I am good enough to be on Team USA and I'm not. And I mean, it is what it is, but that's how she plays and I love it.
Another foul ball. She's gonna get docked on her pay. The league wants some reimbursement for all these foul balls. She has fouled off 6 pitches. This is the 12th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Into center field. This one is down, a base hit off the chest of Hayward, and that's going to allow McClenny to come around to score. Jaquish on her way over to third, and she's there, safe. Ball gets away. Jaquish doesn't know where it is, and she'll have to remain there. Wow! That's the at-bat of the game. Savannah Jaquish wins the battle. It's a 1-run game.
12 pitches. 12 pitches she was able to see and continue, and finds a way. And of course, Hayward is back because she's respecting the power of Jaquish. McClenny, you know, has to do that little stutter stop to see. And you see her kind of waving her arm, getting Jaquish going. Let's go. And she, for a second, thinks like, hey, maybe this is going to get caught. I love it. I mean, McClenny is her teammate, but also coaching her at the same time.
That scored a single and an error. So it's a 1-run game, still just 1 out. Sanders needs to put the ball in play. The infield is in all the way around. 1-1. Cat Osterman came in earlier this inning with a 3-1 lead, just thinking maybe she could close the door and move on. But it has been not easy. Because of the error, no run batted in for Jaquish. And as of right now, that run is not earned and credited to Cat because of the error. That could change. Tried to tie her up inside, and Sanders able to check her swing. Three and one. Wonderful pitch. 3-2.
And I got to go back there based on that swing, on that backdoor curveball.
This is when you really need the strikeout. And it misses. Second walk of the inning by Cat. Runners on at the corners. Cat's the captain, so she's the one making the decision about which direction to go to, and it's clear that she's staying in the game to get herself out of this mess.
And I like it. Gwen Svekis was just coming out, and Kat looks at her and says, we're good, and not making this any bigger than it is.
Captain on captain. Erica Piancastelli, a homer her last time up.
And I think the importance for Kat right now is just needing to find a pitch that she can get for a strike. That's it. It's not that her stuff isn't moving or spinning, but just has to get ahead of these hitters.
This player conference presented by Mariner Wealth Advisors. It was a quick one. Runners on at the corners. Would you ever try and manufacture a run and maybe have a double steal or a delayed steal? Or would you run the risk of taking the bat out of Piancastelli's hands?
Well, I mean, you have a first and third situation where you could potentially send Sanders to test the defense a little bit, but I'm not going to take the bat out of a hitter like Piancastelli's hands, especially with her success right now. But it doesn't mean you can't send Sanders and use Jake Wish at 3 to kind of get in some type of a pickle.
1-2 pitch. Deep drive, no doubt about it. A 3-run shot, Piancastelli. A lightning bolt to left. The worm is turned. Erica Piancastelli, a homer for the second consecutive inning.
Fire me up, Erica Piancastelli. This is a 1-2 pitch, and she knows it. I love it, the excitement. Gosh, she's good. When she hacks, and not a terrible pitch. She was just able to you know, barrel that thing up, wasn't fooled by the spin. I'm getting all these like feels up here in the booth. It's crazy.
Well, because of that home run, that wipes away the error and the potential for unearned runs. Every single run this inning is now earned against Cat, which means a -40. Who would have thought that Kat Osterman inserting herself into the game would be a questionable decision?
You know, and something to think about, there's definitely a different adrenaline coming into a game rather than starting. Some pitchers tend to start better because they feel the adrenaline throughout preparing for the game. All right, they're in the bullpen, all right, and then their name's being called, they run out there, they're starting from the very beginning. But I think sometimes coming into games takes a different type of, you know, preparation and respecting the fact that you only got a couple innings.
Great jump by Hayward, and Myers is out number 2.
And this was just such a big AB for Piancastelli. And these are the types of shots that you remember when you're 40, 50, 60 years old. And you're talking to your grandkids and you're just like, man, this is why I played the game and this is why I love it. And you see on Kat's face, she just says, wow.
Here's Sammy Fagan. And Fagan off the bench, pinch hitting. Curls this one foul right side. Well, someone kind of smart earlier today said that Team Piancastelli has the best 1, 2, 3, 4 in the league this week, and that they were going to need to step up and maybe have some crooked numbers if they were going to win ball games. Well, 1, 2, 3, and 4 this inning for Team Piancastelli has done their job. All 4 reaching, all 4 scoring. And Svekis. Leach is going to be patient. Her team needs base runners. 2 balls, no strikes. Former Tennessee Lady Ball, Aubrey Leach. Right back to McQuillan. Well played. All right, next in line is Vidalis. These two are teammates with the Mexican national team. McQuillan and Vidalis. Vidalis, very aggressive swinger. Takes first pitch way outside.
It makes you think of just how big that leash will be for McQuillan, understanding you still have 8 outs to use, and you want to be strategic in the fact where you don't leave someone in too long and respect the fact that these hitters are legit, and you have Kamalani Dung in the bullpen ready to go if need be, or if McQuillan gets in any trouble. And it could be one of those things, we come out in the bottom of the 6th inning and Kamalani Dung was slotted to throw the 6th and the 7th. You see her going in the pen.
Vidalis is the 8th batter to face McQuillan, and she walks. That's the 2nd walk allowed by McQuillan. Runner on at first with 1 out. And now Gwen Svekis, who is the only remaining person in the lineup who has not faced McQuillan, comes to the plate. Yeah, it's totally possible that the captain, Kat Osterman, is waiting until the lineup turns over and McQuillan faces someone for the 2nd time. I'm sorry, Bianca Piancastelli waits until the lineup turns over before she replaces McQuillan. One and one. One and two. Earlier today, 7-4 win, Team Warren over Team Ocasio. Jessie Warren continues to be just an absolute lucky charm wherever she's been. She's 12-1 on the season. As a captain, she is 7-0. Modern day Sue Enquist. All she does is win. Way outside, and Vidalis trying to take an extra base. Closer than it needed to be. That'll be a wild pitch, allowing Vidalis to get in the scoring position. Small thing, but it could make a difference. Hammered, but foul. Yeah, McQuillan's in trouble. McQuillan has walked 2 in a row with 1 out here in the 5th inning. Now she'll face Samantha Schau for the 2nd time if she is allowed.
When I saw Erica Piancastelli kind of looking towards the dugout to the facilitator, Whitney Jones, who just came out there, see Piancastelli just peeking over, see if Kamalani Dung is ready, and I think they're going to make that change.
So McQuillan's going to face 9 batters, and before facing anyone for the 2nd time, she's lifted. Fans, head to auprosports.com to get your Athletes Unlimited gear and check out our Fan Zone to download your watch kit and participate in pick'em games. And don't forget to follow us on social at AU Pro Sports for exclusive inside content. So Kamalani Dung comes on, and Herald's runners at first and at second and 1 down. Her team leads by 2, but that's in jeopardy. And I always love it when the first warm-up pitch from a pitcher and she comes out of the pen, goes all the way to the backstop.
Hey, effectively wild. I'm trying to scare him, trying to get in Xiao's head. I think it's important to make that change here. See what she has done on the season. Only 11.2 innings pitched, but we've seen her pitch in some pretty pressure-filled situations. And she's one of those pitchers for me that you're kind of hoping steps up and is able to make some big pitches when it counts. And this game is in her hands right now. Her team is up 5-3, and if I'm coming into a ball game, I take pride in that. All right, you're putting the trust in me. Let's go. I'm going to get you 8 more outs, because it's not every day that you're going to hit a 3-run bomb off a cat, right? So it's like you have to have your team's back and throw quality pitches.
23-year-old Kamalani Dung was the first pitcher selected by the captain, Erica Piancastelli. She was taken 9th overall. She was the 3rd player taken by Piancastelli. Savannah Jaquish was her first. Haley McClenny was her second. And then Dung. Samantha Xiao. Called strike 1 to Xiao. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly ball to center. It's been a difficult day for her. This is her 3rd at bat against a 3rd different pitcher. On the ground past the diving Sanders, and they will stop Vidalis at 3rd. And going too far, Speckis, ball gets away. Myers has to eat it. Oh, a terrible time for an error, and it allows a run to score. A misplay defensively, we've got a 1-run game.
And Xiao able to hit it right through that 5-6 hole. Reed comes up, and I like that snap throw, but yeah, Myers just got to sharpen up, have to be able to make that type of a play, or at least get 1 out.
Here's Lily Piper. 0 for 2. Did reach her last time up on an error by the shortstop Sanders. Needs a fly ball of pretty good depth to bring the runner in from 3rd. Speckis standing there, representing the potential tying run. Still just 1 out. Oh, and 2. Piper's got some work ahead of her. Got any recommendations for Dung? To either get a ground ball or a swing and miss?
If you can try to double up and get a double play, that would be ideal.
Little pop, shallow right center, and drops. Myers can't get it, and we're all tied at 5. What a game. A bloop base hit for Piper drives in the 5th run for Team Osterman.
It's the curveball on the outside part of the plate. Stays up in the zone a little bit. No one able to get to it. This would have been a great play by Myers. This is a tough ball to handle. She's not able to glove it up.
Kelsey Stewart next in line. Perfect day for her. A single and a walk. Taken a while for Stewart to get her eye back, but she looks locked in. On the ground, Sam Fisher now playing defensively, steps on the bag. That is the 2nd out of the inning. Xiao and Piper both now in scoring position. And Anissa Urtez will bat. Last inning, she was replaced by Jordan Roberts, who hit a 3-run homer. Now Urtez back into the game, batting for herself. Strike 1. 0-2. We had a whole bunch of zeros on that scoreboard for the first 3 innings. But here in the 4th inning, or in the 4th inning prior, it was 4 runs combined. Here in the 5th inning, 6 runs combined. Great stop by Piancastelli. That saved a run from scoring. If somehow Urtez could get a single and drive in both runs, that would be huge, because Team Piancastelli scored 4 times in the top of this 5th inning. So inning points are on the line. Who can win the inning? Little flipper may find a hole. It does! 2 runs will score! Urtez can run for days! On her way to 3rd, and she'll make it standing! Team Osterman has answered a 4-run top of the 5th inning with a 4-run bottom of the 5th inning.
This off-spin, I mean, I'm surprised she was even able to barrel that up. It was in the other batter's box, and it just kind of bleeds in here, and Perez not able to handle it, and because of that, Urtez is able to get all the way to 3rd base. Both those runs, that is an unfortunate hop on the turf.
That's ruled a triple, so 30 points for Urtez. 2 runs batted in, and the inning is tied. No one is going to win the inning unless Urtez, of course, can score here. Morgan Zirkle, the batter. She's a master of the small ball. And she's going to, oh my goodness, Myers can't make the play. That'll bring in an Urtez, an infield single for Zirkle, and Team Osterman has won the inning. Just incredible.
Zirkle kind of up the middle. That's the best that Narissa Myers can do with that. A lot of speed from Zirkle, but what I love is the fact that Kat's team completely has her back. Last inning gives up a 4-spot, 3-run home run to Piancastelli. That doesn't feel good, but it has to when your team comes up and answers with a 5-spot.
Victoria Hayward 0 for 3. She's been one of the best hitters here in a month and a half in Rosemont. Got to figure she's due. She's put the ball in play 3 times, nothing to show for it. There goes Zirkle down to 2nd, and the throw goes into center field. That'll be a stolen base, 10 more points for Zirkle. She's now 4 for 4 in stolen base opportunities on the season. It all started with back-to-back walks by McQuillan. She got the first out to begin this inning, but then walked Vidalis, walked Svekis, and Zirkle on her way to 3rd, and she'll make it. That's a stolen base. Zirkle's actually on her way to 3rd when the ball went into the ground. So back-to-back stolen bases for Zirkle. It's as if she just hit a triple and got 30 points. Little flip right back to the pitcher. Dung makes the play, and the side is retired. Sam Fisher will lead things off against Kat Osterman as we play the 6th inning. It'll be Fisher, Perez, and Reed, bottom 3rd of the order. Kat wasn't her usual self an inning ago. She walked a pair and gave up the home run to Piancastelli. But after the homer to Piancastelli, back-to-back outs, so maybe back on the beam. We shall see. 2 balls and a strike. Kat's got some wiggle room. By far and away, #1 to the bullet on that leaderboard in terms of total points. She's been that lead dog since week 1. But I guess if you continue to give up runs as a pitcher, you can go backwards. She gave up 40 points with the 4 earned runs an inning ago. 3-1. Expect the strike here. Some things you guess at, other things you just know.
Fisher just knew.
There's no way she's going to walk the leadoff batter after getting bailed out by a 5-run bottom of the 5th inning. Oh my. Oh my. That's now 3 walks allowed by Kat Osterman. Let's take a look at our Geico in-game leaderboard. A whole bunch of points as well. Mandy Perez pops up a bunt. Kat Osterman has struck out 1. She's walked 3. In the air, shallow right center field. Schau makes the play. First out of the 6th inning.
She's got a big smile on her face because she doesn't normally play right field.
Yeah, certain players in this league that you just tell they love playing the game. Here's Janie Reed. Over the last 2 games that she's faced Kat Osterman, she has struck out all 4 times, and all 4 times it's been struck out swinging. She needs to go up there with a piano leg or an oar or something like that. Just trying to bat, it's not working. If you're Kat Osterman, an elite pitcher, do you know that you've owned Janie Reed? You remember that?
100%.
Okay.
Especially when you get ahead and you're like 1-2. Okay, that was my time. Just spin the drop ball in there, down and in.
Reed's been elite everywhere she's been. Let's see if she can figure this out. Three-run game. 1 out, top of the 6th inning. Janie Reed, 14th out of our 57 players in total points. Two and 2. It's getting late right now for Team Piancastelli. Only have 5 more outs to play with. Oh my. Kat Osterman has struck out Janie Reed for the 2nd time today and the 5th consecutive time dating back to Monday night.
Well, and this is what makes Kat so difficult, right? Coming from the left side, she can just snap that curveball away. And after hammering Janie Reed in and in and in, goes up with the rise, and then decides to go with that curveball at a 1-2 count.
Haley McClenny takes a big swing at the first pitch and bounces it foul.
Very rarely do you see Kat shake with Svekis. They're just so in sync with each other. And I love that. Trust is a big piece of the puzzle for Kat in the circle, right? She needs someone behind the dish that gets her, understands how to pitch. You know, some of these hitters, especially the elite ones, like a player like McClenny. McClenny knows Kat in and out. And go up in the zone.
I wonder if it's a coincidence that Haley McClenny reminds me so much of Kelly Kretschmann. They both played at Alabama, but they both can lay down a bunt. They both can slap. They both can hit the ball in the gap and run for days. They both can hit the ball out of the ballpark. They both always put the bat on the ball. Just uncanny hand-eye coordination. And that'll do it. Side is retired.
He could easily be throwing BP here in the league.
Curtis Granderson, 16 years in the big leagues. Chicago and through. Are you familiar with 16-inch softball?
I am not.
Oh, man. It is played without gloves. Actually, it's indigenous here to the city of Chicago. And it's a 16-inch round ball, clearly. And it becomes doughy as the game goes on, and you don't use gloves. And the people who've played it for years, they say that they have summer fingers. Some are here, some are there, some are facing right, some are facing left. But yeah, you know someone who's played a lot of 16s in softball when you shake their hand, because inevitably their hands look like absolute junk from years trying to catch that ball barehanded.
Would it be like the same size as a handball in the Olympics?
Good call. I don't know anything about the handball.
Dang it, I was going to say you should be getting a medal for all the facts, but
I don't know anything
not
about
able
the
to
handball.
step up with handball size.
If you want to go to curling, too, the Canadian national sport, I don't know anything about curling
My
either.
aunt was a silver medalist
in curling
at the Salt Lake City
Really?
Winter Olympics. She was. Kelly Law. I know a little something about curling.
We've made it to the bottom of the 6th inning. Tori Vidalis is the batter. Tori Vidalis so far today is 1 for 2 with a walk. Team Osterman, man, resilient to the nth degree. They scored 3 times in the 4th. They scored 5 times in the 5th. And this one is well out of here. TV, Tori Vidalis, another homer for her. She has now got 3 on the season. And that now means it's another inning win for Team Osterman. What a performance.
That's the Tori Vidalis from Texas A&M that I know. Ball's just up. It's supposed to be way in. You see Piancastelli low in to Vidalis, and this is just a missed pitch. Man, she's so good. Full extension through that. So much power. I knew it was over the bleachers as soon as I heard that off the bat. They got the Mizuno bling. Shout out to Mizuno.
Here's Gwen Svekis. This is remarkable what Team Osterman has done so far today. They're pitching a shutout, innings-wise, against Team Piancastelli. Every time Team Piancastelli scores a run, they answer with more. And now they've won the 6th inning. So already 60 inning win points going to every single member of Cat Osterman's team. And a 4-run lead with only 3 outs to play. So they have a good chance of getting the 50 win points as well.
And already 9 home runs in 1 full game earlier, and in these 6 innings here, I mean, it's crazy. I think there's a good shot we're going to break the record this weekend of home runs, which as the pitcher, I'm not digging it, but it's looking like that's the way it's going to be.
It seems as if more often than not the wind has been blowing out here at the Parkway Bank Sports Complex. I haven't seen a game where the wind has been blowing in. I'd like to see that and see how that affects things. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Svekis.
And I still have to, you know, regardless of the outcome of this game, I have to go with Piancastelli for being a big bopper of an MVP. I have to. 2 home runs, 1 of them off of Cat.
This one is hit in the left field off the end of the bat, and Janie Reed makes the play. So, duck. It's an Oregon duck to an Oregon duck. Two down, bases clear. Samantha Shao. Shao was important back in that 5th inning. Kept the string going after back-to-back walks to Vidalis and Svekis. She got herself a base hit and kept the rally alive.
Ooh, she wanted to go yard on that one. We've yet to see a bat flip. I thought that was You know, she would have made contact on that one. You knew she was flipping the bat.
When you were a college All-American and was the National Player of the Year, and you hit too as well as pitch, did you ever go to the plate and just know that the matchup was all about you and that you were going to hit a homer?
No.
Never.
No, I did not. I think it's a jinx to think if you step into the box, you're going to hit a home run. I mean, to go in and have confidence against the pitcher is one thing, but I'm not pulling a Babe Ruth. Just hand up like.
Samantha Shao, one of the few remaining great two-way players. Used to be a thing. Used to think about Michelle Smith and Lisa Fernandez and Jenny Finch and all of those players used to hit. The great pitchers would hit for themselves, and of course you did it back then. In your time, between 2005 and 2009 as a college player, but it's becoming rarer and rarer. Good at bat by Shao. 2-out walk. Let's take a look at our Geico defensive play of the game. Shao is going to be lifted for a pinch runner. It's Emily Crane. Crane's got to be thrilled that she's connected with Kat Osterman's team this week. For the first 3 weeks, she was the lone player who did not have a win. Things changed last week. And now you'd assume that she's playing with Kat Osterman, whose team frequently win, that she's going to get some more win points. Lily Piper. Piper feeling her oats. She was drafted on Tuesday by Kat Osterman. She was taken in the 9th round, 33rd overall. And that means something. You know, Kat is not going to take someone that she doesn't feel has an opportunity to help her. And the little that we've seen of Piper coming off the bench, clearly that wasn't enough to impress Kat Osterman and said, you know what? Yeah, I want that on my team. And clearly Piper knows that and is feeling good about herself.
She just always seems so happy. Anytime you're looking at Lily Piper, she's at the top of the dugout steps, like cheering and dancing and having a good time. And that's what you want. You want people that, regardless of what's happening in the game, have that good, fun, contagious type attitude.
She can mash too.
And she can mash. She's making her teammates laugh even when she's see her chatting with Kelsey Stewart.
Bottom of the 6th inning. This inning already won by Team Osterman. Monday evening with 2 games on Monday, and we'll be shut down for a year, but other sports still to come with Athletes Unlimited. Fantastic new concept of reimagining what pro sports can be all about. Savannah Jaquish, lazy fly to left field. Catch is made by Morgan Zirkle, and all of a sudden Team Piancastelli is down to their last 2 outs. Haley Wagner back into the game, replacing Kat Osterman. DJ Sanders is the batter. Now, there's a term in bat and ball sports. It's called a vulture. It's when a relief pitcher comes out of the pen and gives up the lead
and then stays long enough for the lead to come back to their team, and they end up getting the win. So it appears as if Kat Osterman's going to get herself a vulture. Haley Wagner was magnificent, pitched better than Kat Osterman did. But Kat came in, gave up Haley's lead. And now because of the comeback for Team Osterman, it looks like Kat's going to get the win officially. DJ Sanders down the left field line. That's fair. Fortuitous. One out single for DJ. Two for three, Piancastelli. Those 8 home runs now tied for the lead. Got her off balance. Off balance, Urtez makes the play, 2 down. Haley Wagner used the leg kick against Piancastelli. So Wagner now 1 out away from the W. Narisa Myers. Hard to believe that Team Piancastelli, that has scored 5 runs, including 1 in the 4th and 4 in the 5th, it looks like they're not going to have any inning wins. They haven't won any of the first 6 innings. And if they don't score here, this inning will go to Team Osterman. We won't have a bottom of the 7th inning. Right back to Wagner, and that'll do it. Ball game is over. The Dolly Parton special, 9-5, and Team Osterman picks up the win, their first of the weekend. What's new? Kat Osterman continues to make all the right decisions as a captain.
I love it. I love the way that they jiggled around the pitchers and pitched by committee a little bit. I like finishing the game with Wagner and just kind of really bringing in someone to shut the door. She's got a legit squad this weekend, that's for sure.
All right, this is going to be fun. We have an opportunity to talk to one of the real offensive stars for Team Osterman. Jordan Roberts joins us. Hey, Jordan, thanks for doing this. You came off the bench, the hardest job in town in the 4th inning. You had 2 runners on in front of you, and you swatted a home run, your 2nd of the season. Can you explain that at bat to us?
Yeah, I was really just trying to stay within myself and have a productive at bat. I'm just trying to make the most of my opportunities and do the best that I can for my team.
You know, I have to say, it's not easy coming in a pinch hitter type role, and that's kind of where you've been at throughout this first season. Talk to me a little bit about that and the pressures that you have to deal with coming in and sometimes doing well and then sometimes struggling too.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty much used to it. At UF, it was kind of one of my roles that I had before, so I kind of just trusted that experience that I had and really just focused on my team and not so much myself and putting that pressure on me, but really just focusing on each pitch and just taking my hacks when I can, getting my swings off, because that's when I see the most success for myself.
Last weekend of Athletes Unlimited, what have you loved about these last 4 weeks?
I have loved literally every moment with these people, and just the experience playing at this level has been a dream come true for me. It's shown me so much about myself and how I want to continue to play, and I'm really just excited to have met all of these girls and learned from them, and they really make me feel like $1 million every single day. So just being with them and learning from them and taking what I've learned here and using that and whatever I do next.
I love it.
That was awesome. Well, you've got 2 hits on the year. Both of them have been home runs. You're allowed to get a single from time to time if you want, Jordan Roberts. Hey, thank you for your time.
No, thank you.
Hey, Jordan Roberts and Team Osterman, a 9-5 win.